And we are back.
Just like that, we're back and we're moving now into our second segment for the morning. Looking forward to this one. This one is all about the Sprite Live Life Youth Basketball Tournament 2022. And we've got the reps in to tell us all about it. As a matter of fact, the man himself, Douglas Hyde, the coordinator and office of the Commissioner of Police. And of course, he's got with him a baller himself, Raheem Baptiste. Yeah, I hear the man.
He's one of our MVP candidates.
Wow.
One of Belize prospect.
Yeah. So good morning, guys, and welcome, man. It's nice to have you on.
Good morning. Thank you.
So, Doug, it's been a while since you've got the Live Life Youth Basketball, sponsored, of course, by Sprit. Tell us about, where it came from. And I feel that's a very important way to start, simply because people might hear about it, but why did it start?
Well, in 2015, 2016, thereabout, Commissioner of Police back then took over Eastern Division. And I can remember clearly we started off with initiatives and strategies trying to get Belize City under control.
Yeah.
We were a serious height of crimes, far more than what it is.
What's going on now?
And he met with different communities. We met with different mothers of these communities, and ideas were thrown around. We met with some of the guys back then, and sports were one of the things that came out. They wanted to do basketball and football. Well, I'm not a football person. I'm a basketball person. I have my history of playing basketball on senior levels and semi-pro. So what I did, he tasked myself along with Mr. Kakamo then, who is ASP Elroy Kakamo, to look at how we can get these guys together and do some competition. And that was how it started. We started off with 4 or 5 teams back then competing at different communities. And we grew from that first year to second year. We went to 8. Third year we went to 10. COVID came on. We took a pause. And then March of this year, I could never forget, there was a ministerial meeting with the different ministers and ministries. And again, the flare-up was happening in these different communities. And the ministers, they're looking at different ways to tackle this, to look at how we can either go by force or go by a different strategic way of getting these guys back to some level of communication and relationship with each other. Commissioner threw it on the table. He said that we have an initiative that worked and we can try it again, make some adjustments and stuff like that. And he called me into the meeting and said, let's push for this competition again, the tournament. And remember, we was at 2 years hiatus. We just take a pause. I was like, wow, because I know this is hard work, but I'm also excited for the guys because I know many of them in the past 2 years asked when we are bringing it back, what happened. So Mr. William Dawson, who is the chairman of the LIU, he and I was tasked to, let's put this together, let's sit down, plan it, and get it out. And so that was in March. I took the month of April to meet with the guys, talk to them, see what was their input of it. So we grew from 10 teams to 15 teams.
Wow.
So we started off at 15 and from different locations in Belize District. For the first time we have Ladeville, Hattieville and Mahogany Heights included, which never happened before. And so every weekend, every Saturday for almost 22 weekends, we have competition no less than 8 games per Saturdays.
Talk to us about how you did your recruitment and how you are keeping, so it's not just about getting the team, but how you're keeping them together.
Very crucially, as I mentioned, that we met with these different leaders from the different communities. When I said leaders, these are key persons who have some level of influence in their community. And I introduced the concept to them, what we want to do and what idea was there to discuss and how you work out. Remember, what we try to do is like a strategy. So we are create these opportunities for you, we are create these initiatives, but we need enough to hold it down. So that was like the partnership in it. The leaders were very open to it and they took it back to these different groups, and then we get a response. They were the ones who select their players to play on the teams. We didn't get involved in that, but we asked them that the competition as much as it's going to be a physical basketball competition, we're not going to take no gun violence and no violence to the court.
Yeah.
You beef it out through the sport.
Through the sport, yeah.
We're not done, we're back again. And I must again applaud these teams that over the past months, 5 months and change, we've never had no incidents.
Yeah.
And the major thing, as I highlight, is that we have never had no one over the 140 odd persons who participate in this tournament. Nobody got killed, and nobody they killed neither.
Yeah.
And that's huge accomplishment for this tournament.
Doug, you know, there must have been some level of success as to why starting back in 2015, 2016, and then trying to bring that back. Talk to us about the successes. I mean, we watch Raheem right now, and this guy's a baller, and so therefore he could actually go now to one of the leagues that we've got in this country. I feel that's a success rule there. Talk to us about that.
There are many successes, and I must say thanks for highlighting that, because one of the key things is that communication these guys didn't have. First thing, let's start with that. There are rivalry, street rivalry, gang rivalry, community rivalry. So have that at this level, that these guys can meet at a venue and don't have a feud, a war.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
So we create that avenue that they can go on a basketball court as enemies, but then they play in the sense of who win and we go home and that's it. That's a huge success. Secondly, that these teams come from different neighborhoods, that they can still stay together. And I told people that we started in May up till here in September, not one team drop out.
Yeah.
That's the next success.
Yeah.
When we look on talents over the years, we started, let's use Raheem. We started off when they were at their early teenage life.
I mean, what,
15, 16.
Yeah, 2015 to now. So yeah.
6 years later,
Yeah.
at 20 something, we see these guys grow from being either short tolerance, you know, they don't have that level of understanding how to deal with certain things. Their approaches were very knitted and
arrogance
tight.
level high.
Arrogance very high and stuff like that. To the point now that they have that patience and understanding to say, let's talk about it, let's deal with it differently. They have a different strategy of how to approach things. And I'm proud of that, because now we're not looking at ignorance to that level, now we're looking at understanding, communication, understanding. For Raheem being here is a big step, because we're talking about somebody who, I mean, the highlighter, the front line is not his thing. No, he's actually stepping out of his box to be here at present time, and I'm very proud of him and others over the period of time. And I must say, over the years, likewise, we've highlighted key persons, you know, who become highlight players over this tournament and went on to different levels of other tournaments to highlight their skills too.
So Raheem, then I want to bring you into this conversation. Talk to us about what your journey has been like and what this means, not just for you, but for members of your community.
I mean, good. Everybody always go out to free up. Because where's the community where we live, people don't go out like that.
Where? Which community?
Martins. Because we live weird about.
Yeah.
Minute we go front to the problem start. You know? For everybody, all the way about the past Saturdays go out, not watch over our shoulder, nothing go play with ball. Because sit down the whole day. And all about nothing, take the heavy security and everything. Nobody no got no problem.
But it never used to be like that.
No.
So what you think would be the key thing that changed that?
Tournament to me.
Yeah. What happens after the tournament?
Yeah.
We stay so time because we play early. A lot of teams play.
Yeah.
And we stay early, stay there, watch a game there, and then when time we ready for go, tell here carry we home, check. Everybody stay out there, we create. No care what part you're from.
Yeah.
Everybody stay together, watch a game there. If you don't play early, we stay watch a game and enjoy the time, check.
Would you like more of these events to happen, you know, because you said, you know, happen as often, right? Don't only come up with tournaments. So what more you think could happen so that another keep coming back out?
More tournament to me.
It sounds like you have to work hard.
I'm going at 3, 4, 5 tournament.
Tournament
just to come out and enjoy, recreate, you know, without the watch over my shoulder.
Well, but what's the feeling like? I mean, you know, it seems that, you know, listening to you and you say, you know, you don't have to watch over your shoulder when you're at the tournament. What's the feeling like not having to watch over your shoulder?
good. Like you just good. You're up on the court. You don't worry about no own kind, no heavy security there. So you just to enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And if I pick up myself, I just decide to walk up on my court and turn every minute, and that's not a good feeling.
That's not a good feeling.
None at all.
Yeah.
No, got the police van, the coffee, your career, a game and all for the worry about nothing. Everything taken care of.
Doug, these games, do they happen in neighborhood that and I hate to use these words, man, troubled neighborhoods or conflictious neighborhoods?
Yeah, the tournament is strategized that kind of way that we use 6 different eras.
Yeah.
And Rahim highlight what we've basically, as the police department, we make sure that we use the word sterilize, but we look for areas that will be less high risk, but we can control it.
Yeah.
But because of what we live in, which is a real dangerous world, and of course our country is not no different from any other country. Today we can be very cool and calm, and tomorrow the thing just turn up.
I know.
You know, and what Rahim highlighted is that we make sure that we have no less than 20 to 25 police officers working, whether it be community policing officers or the operational team, which include the SPU, the MIT, the GI3 team, to make sure that security is there to the max, and special branch is also there to make sure that we have intelligence. And that's why I am proud to say earlier that we make sure that from the beginning of this tournament to now, there's no incident, because I know there are some people who we talk this thing, but we do this thing. We make sure that it happened. And when Rahim mentioned that he feels comfortable to be around, it's not just him, it's all of the other teams, including their rivals. Imagine if you have beef with certain body, you have issues with certain body, but when you get on the court, you don't have to worry about that. That's a great feeling, and you end up to play what you love to do, is play basketball. So I'm very proud of that, to see that we've literally kept that high intensity of security at these different neighborhoods. We went to Yarborough Green, we played Baca Complex, we went to Ladyville, Hattieville, we're using Kings Park right now. We did Civic Center both inside and outside.
Sweet.
We have other places that we rotate around, making sure that these guys get a feeling to go to this court and that court. And I felt that worked, and we need to do more of that, because the communities, when we went in their basketball court, we saw people coming out and supporting. And what also brought them out is the security. So they came out because police were
need
there.
That fresh air.
You know what I'm saying? And the amount of people come out sometimes at these games is amazing, because the community come support, especially Baca Martin. Yeah.
But what about I think one of the important things, especially in situations like this, would be your KPIs or your key performance indicators. Now, wouldn't it be a dream for the police department not having to take that amount of security to a court of a rival area because their rival people are actually coming in there? Did we, like, at the onset, did you have that much security with comparison to now?
Well, I must say thanks to the commissioner. While you're right in looking at that point, we would want to, and if Mr. Dawson was here, he would tell you, we would want to walk around freely, or we should. But that's not the reality. And for some of these guys, it's very high risk. I mean, Rahim can talk about his personal experience. These guys have experience where their close friends or relatives got killed right wrong there. So it's not about talking out of sense or stuff like that. You're talking from experience that you don't want to take certain likely threat lightly. And if you step outside of your boundaries for 1 second, and it have happened in the past, so why would you let that guard down now? We would want to do that, but we know the intensity of what we're dealing with here and the key players who are involved. So we just can't forget that and think because things kind of cool down, let's calm down the security level likewise. No, we have to keep that up to a certain level that we can make sure that these guys continue. Hopefully down the road we can work it to a level that we are seeing that the performance and the behaviors of some of these guys could appreciate that things are changing.
Right, so that was going to be my question. But then what are the objectives of the tournament? Because what happens when the tournaments are over? You just go back and you have to start over at square one. So how are you, I guess that was in line with my first question, keeping these teams together after the tournament is over? How do you continue to work on that?
LIU, Leadership Intervention Unit, the Department of Youth Services, and other agencies are working in making sure that when this tournament and other initiatives finishes, that there's something that these guys are still involved into. So yes, the tournament finished this weekend. However, there are other initiatives or activities that these guys would be involved in, and they are rotated. They are still involved in, and I know that there is a meeting with Mr. Dawson with some of these key persons, because football is next, where they want to bring them into the football sporting activity next, and I'm happy that some of these guys will be involved in that too.
So, but time is winding down, and so I want you have a big trophy beside you. To talk to us about the championship and the tournament itself.
So this coming Saturday, tomorrow, 1st of October, we have the championship day, we call it.
Put it here.
Championship day. So championship day now, of all the weekends we had, the 15 teams, we have finally 4 teams remaining. And so we have 2 games tomorrow that will happen. First game will be Team Police versus Hattieville. And they're playing for 3rd place, which is $1,000. And we have second game. The second game will be Complex Titans, which is Raheem's team, versus Hard Rock, which is one of the teams who have been in one of the number 1 teams in the tournament for this whole season. So they are defending against Complex Titans, which is 2 beautiful teams. Talent and skill to the max. Like I tell you, Raheem is one of the MVP candidates. We have also Jason Vasquez of Hard Rock, who is also one of the candidates, along with Marshall. These guys are very skilled and talented, and I look forward for these games and asking the public for their support. Likewise, we start 9:30 in the morning.
Where?
Kings Park, Lopez Mateo Park. Beautiful park. 2 basketball court in one. First time I see that kind of beautiful park. And so we've used it a couple times, and we want to use it again for the championship games. Immediately after the championship game, we go into the closing ceremony, handing out the trophies, the prize. We will highlight the MVP. We will highlight the best defense player. We also will recognize 2 teams who have been best disciplined teams. So we're going to give out awards, and of course the cash prizes to these different teams.
Nice.
Lovely.
I want to also take the time to recognize, without these people and sponsorships and partnerships, this tournament wouldn't happen. So I want to take the time to say a big thank you to Ministry of Home Affairs, Boyne Sprit, Leadership Intervention Unit, Belize Police Department, Rotary Club of Belize, St. George's Key Resort, which is Barry Lowland, David Zabane, and Paradise Cafe there in Belmopan. In terms of the technical support team, Compol Chester Williams, Mr. Dawson, Michelle Saliva, Dr. Lorena McKay, Inspector Senubra Cock, Inspector Shani Kabayayo, Sergeant Kendra Rabato. In terms of our partners, National Sports Council, Department of Youth Services, Community Rehab Department, Belize City Council, and the Community Policing Unit. These are the persons who technically helps, physically helps, and financially helps to make sure that these things happen. Right? And I couldn't do it without them. These guys, fully jersey, basketball, basketball net every game. Raheem mentioned in terms of transportation, we have both the department, the police department, and the Department of Youth Services assisting every week. In terms of life skills, we have community rehab and DYS who assist in making sure that there's a level of discussion with these guys before and after the games. And I say in terms of the partnership, I can't miss National Sports Council, LIU, and Ministry of Home Affairs, who help guide me in terms of making sure that the financial part of it happens. And those are what really drive the tournament to an extent. But don't forget the 15 teams. Without them, the tournament means nothing. And I'm proud of them. Started off with us and ending off with a bang coming tomorrow.
Final words are yours, Raheem. What's your final words to Belizeans? There are a lot of kids who might just be in that same position, but they would like to feel safe again. What do you say to these guys?
I don't know. I don't know.
How does basketball help you?
Yeah, how
feel
basketball help you? Yeah.
Only these guys I feel safe. I feel really, really safe.
Yeah, you know, there are a lot of people who think otherwise. They would say, you know what, with the police, I don't really feel safe. But Raheem, coming from you who knows your words mean a lot to a lot of people. So I'd like to thank you, bro, for coming in this morning. Doug, thank you as well for coming in, man. I've seen these tournaments. I've been at one of these finals, and trust me.
Yeah?
Yeah, man, I've been to
Alright.
these things. Man. The finals it is very competitive, but it's all with skills, and that's what these guys actually battle out on the court. So thank you guys for coming.
Good luck and best of luck in the championship ring.
Man, I hope you win MVP.
Yes. But with that, we are going to take our final break and we'll be back with CK.
CK, Small Business Friday.
Small Business Friday.
That's right.
We'll check them out. What do they have in store for us?
And the models.
And the models.
When we come back.